children, how are you? Hope you are fine. In the last class, we discussed about the heating effect of electric current. What is heating effect of electric current? And there we studied the term electric power. What is electric power? Electric power is the rate at which electric energy is consumed in an electric circuit. What is the SI unit of electric power? The SI unit of electric power is watt. It is denoted by the letter W. And what is the equation of electric power? That is P is equal to power is equal to work done by time. We know work done is equivalent to the energy. So the power is equal to energy by time. And also we have three equations. P is equal to work done by time, energy by time, and also we studied the equations of the three equations of power, that is P is equal to I into V, P is equal to I square R, and P is equal to V square by R. Okay. Then we studied the Joule's law of heating. What is Joule's law of heating? According to Joule's law of heating, the heat produced in a resistor is directly proportional to the square of the current. Square of the current, then directly proportional to the resistance and directly proportional to the time for which the current flows through the resistor. That is, we get the equation H is equal to I square RT, and this equation can be converted into another two forms, that is H is equal to V into I into T, and H is equal to V square by R into T. Then we also discussed the many conversions, that is watt hour into kilowatt hour, and this kilowatt hour is commonly known as unit. We use unit to measure the electric current. We use unit. You can see it in the electricity bill. Okay. How many joule is equivalent to 1 kilowatt hour? That is 1 kilowatt hour is equal to how many joule? 3.6 into 10 raised to 6 joule. It is very important. These are all we discussed in the last class. Okay. Then we move on to the practical application of heating effect of electric current, or otherwise we can say that practical applications of Joule's law of heating. Practical applications of Joule's law of heating. This heating effect of electric current and Joule's law of electric current has an importance in our daily life. What is the importance? How can we use this heating effect of electric current and Joule's law of heating in our daily life? Let's see. Haven't you seen the electric bulb? What is the symbol of electric bulb? The electric bulb, in an electric circuit, the electric bulb can be denoted by this symbol, isn't it? What is the use of electric bulb? That is, the electric bulb produces light. Okay, the electric bulb produces light. We all know that. Then, in the previous class, we told that the filament, there is a filament for this electric bulb. This is a filament. Okay, and this filament is made up of tungsten. That is, we studied in the previous class, tungsten is used in the filaments of electric bulb. Why tungsten used as the filament of electric bulb? Tungsten has high resistivity. Because of high resistivity of tungsten, tungsten is used for filament of electric bulb. Then how is it related, this heating effect of electric current with the electric bulb? Yes, this heating effect of electric current is used in the electric bulb and will flow. I current will flow through this, and this filament act as a resistor. Okay, this filament act as a resistor. As the current flow through this filament, the filament will heat. The filament gets heated and it produce more heat. Okay, then the filament of electric bulb become very hot and it emits light. Thus it emits light. Okay, that is, the filament of the electric bulb gets heated when the current passes through this, and the heat produced as much as possible so that the filament of electric bulb gets very hot and it emits light. Okay, while touching the electric bulb you can feel the heat on the electric bulb. This is the reason for this. Here the filament gets heated and it emits light. Okay, when the filament gets heated at a high temperature, it does not melt. Okay, such metals are used for making these filaments. Strong metals are used for making this filament because this filament gets heated and there is a chance to melt this filament. So we use strong metals with a high melting point. To make the filaments, we use strong metals with a high melting point. Okay, that is, we use the tungsten, the metal tungsten made the filament of the electric bulb. Okay, and we all know the tungsten is used not only because of the high melting point but also because of high resistivity. Okay, high resistivity means here the current will flow through this. Because of high resistivity, more current is blocked here and some current will pass through this, and that more current will convert into heat energy and the filament gets more and more heat and it emits light. So we use tungsten to make the filament of the electric bulb, and because of high melting point and a high resistivity. And in the bulbs we use some gases. Some gases are filled in the bulbs and that gases are chemically inactive nitrogen and argon gases. These we use chemically inactive nitrogen and argon gases. It is used to prolong the life of filament. Okay. Then most of the power consumed by the filament is converted into heat. In this, most of the power or current is converted into heat, and only a small part of the current is converted to light. Okay, hope you understand the first application of heating effect of electric current, that is the electric bulb. The filament of the bulb gets heated and as much of the heat produced as possible so that the filament of electric bulb gets very hot and emits light. Here we use strong metals having high melting point and a high resistivity because there is a chance to melt the filament of electric bulb. We also use some inactive gases, that is nitrogen and argon gases, to prolong the life of filament. The next practical application of heating effect of electric current is fuse. Have you heard about fuse? In our home, This fuse protects the circuits and appliances by stopping the flow of high electric current. In our home, in the electric circuit, in our home, there are many electric circuit, and this electric circuit is protected by the fuse. How is it protected? That is, the electrical appliances are protected by the fuse. How is it protected? That is, when there is a chance of flow of high amount of electric current. There is a chance of flow of high amount of electric current. In order to overcome this problem, we use fuse. That is, when high flow of current occurs, there will be a chance to damage our electrical appliances. So we use fuse. How fuse protects the electrical circuits and appliances in our home? Let's see. That is, the fuse is a wire, and this fuse, when large amount of current flows through the circuit, when large amount of current flows through the circuit, this fuse wire gets heated. This fuse wire gets heated, and then it become very hot, and it become heat produced as much as possible. Amount of current flows, then the fuse wire gets heated. Again the amount of current is large, and then fuse wire becomes very hot, and at last this fuse wire gets melt. The fuse wire gets melt, and it breaks the circuit. The fuse wire gets melt and it breaks the circuit. That is, here it is a simple circuit. Suppose this is the fuse wire, and there is electric bulb, refrigerator, grinder, etc., fan, okay, etc. Then when high amount of electric current flows through this circuit, this fuse wire gets melt and break, okay, and the electric circuit become blocked, and the electrical appliances, the refrigerator, grinder, electric bulb, fan, etc., gets protected, okay. When this high amount of electric current passes, when there is no fuse wire, the high amount of electric current will passes through this, and it will damage, this high amount of electric current will damage these electrical appliances. When high amount of electric current passes, this fuse wire gets heated, and the fuse wire gets melt and break the circuit. Okay, hope you understand that how the fuse wire protects our electrical appliances. Okay, this is another practical application of heating effect of electric current. This fuse wire, you know, this fuse wire is a piece of wire, and this fuse wire is made of metal and alloy. This fuse wire is made up of metal or an alloy, example aluminum, copper, iron. Okay, hope you understand the two practical applications of heating effect of electric current, or the practical applications of Joule's law of heating. That is, the first one is the electric bulb, that is the filament of electric bulb, and the second one is the fuse wire. Okay, then we do some problems related to the heating effect of electric current. Okay, let's start with a simple problem. An electric refrigerator rated 400 watt operated 8 hours per day. Okay, what is the cost of energy to operate it for 30 days? 30 days at rupees 3. at rupees 3 per kilowatt hour. Okay, so we have to change, we will get the answer in watt hour and we have to change it into kilowatt hour to calculate the cost of the energy. Okay, first 400 watt, we know the unit watt denotes the power, the unit, it is the unit of power, that is power P is equal to 400 watt. Okay, then it is for 30 days total energy. What is the total energy for 30 days? We know power is equal to work by time, and work done is equivalent to energy, that is energy by time. That is, we can write energy is equal to power into time. Power into time. Okay. That is, here power is equal to 400 into time is equal to 8 hour. 8 hour for this energy for 1 day. 100 into 8 is equal to 8 into 4, it is 3,200. Then what is for, we have to find for 30 days. 30 days we have to calculate the cost of energy operate it for 30 days at rupees 3 per kilowatt hour. So for 30 days the energy used is energy E is equal to power 3,200 is the energy for 1 day. For 30 days energy is equal to 30 into the energy of 1 day, that is 3,200. Then we will get the answer as 96,000. 96,000, that is watt hour. Here the unit is watt hour, that is energy is equal to power into time. The unit of power is watt and the unit of time is hour, that is 96,000 watt hour, and it can be turned into kilowatt hour. How? That is 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 10 raised to 3 watt hour, or 1000 watt hour is equal to 1 kilowatt hour. Okay, then we can write it as 96 into 1000 watt hour, that is 1000 watt hour is equal to 1 kilowatt hour, that is 96 kilowatt hour. Okay, this is the total energy for 30 days. Then we have to calculate the price, the cost of energy for 30 days. For 1 kilowatt hour, it costs 3 rupees, and for 96 kilowatt hour it is 96 into 3 rupees. Okay, how can we write? That is the cost of energy. The cost of energy is equal to, the cost of energy is equal to 96 into 3, that is equal to 288 rupees. Hope you understand. Then we move on to the next question. The next question is, compute the heat generated while transforming 96,000 coulombs of charge in 1 hour through potential difference of 50 volt. We have to compute the heat generated. We have to calculate the heat produced. Okay, here while transforming 96,000 coulomb of charge, that is charge Q is equal to 96,000. Okay, 96,000 coulomb. Then in 1 hour, that is time is equal to 1 hour, and potential difference 50 volt, that is V is equal to 50 volt. Here time is equal to 1 hour. We have to convert it into seconds, that is 60 into 60 seconds, that is 3600 seconds. Okay, compute the heat generated, that is we have the equation for the heat, that is according to Joule's law of heating, H is equal to I square into R into T. Okay, we have to calculate here Q and T is given, that is we can calculate the current here. I is equal to Q by T, that is Q 96,000 coulomb by T 3600. We will get 80 by 3 ampere current. We have the equation with VI. Okay, that is H is equal to V into I into T. Or we can apply the Ohm's law and we can calculate the resistance. Then we can substitute that values in this equation also. Here we are doing using this equation, H is equal to V into I into T. Here V is equal to 50 volt, I is equal to 80 by 3 ampere and T is equal to 3600 second. That is 50 into I, 80 by 3 into time, 3600 seconds. The final answer will be joule. We can convert it into kilojoule, that is 4800 into 10 raised to 3 joule, that is 4800 in 4800 kilojoule. Okay, this is the heat produced. The next question is, it is an important question, that is two conducting wires of the same material, that is here are two wires of the same material and of equal lengths and of equal diameters are first connected in series. First these two wires are connected in series. Okay, then it is and then parallel in a circuit across the same potential difference. Then it is converted into, then it is connected in parallel in a circuit across the same potential difference. Here the potential difference is same in two cases. Okay, and what will be the ratio of heat produced in series and parallel combination? Here we have to find the heat produced in series connection and the heat produced in the parallel connection of connecting these two wires, and at last we can find the ratio between the heat produced in series and in parallel. Okay. First, we can calculate the heat produced in series. The heat produced in series. Before that, we get two conducting wires. These two conducting wires, what is the resistance of these two conducting wires? That is, these two conducting wires are made of same material and of equal lengths and of equal diameters. That means these two conducting wires has same resistance. We know the resistance depends upon the factor. We already studied the factors depending upon the resistance, that is the nature of material. Here the nature of material is same, and length of the wire, here the length of the equal lengths of the wire. Then area of the wire, that is here the equal diameters. The wires has equal diameters, so the resistance also will be same, and let it be R. R is the resistance. What is the equivalent resistance while connecting in series connection? Calculate the resistance in series connection, that is R1 plus R2. Here two wires, and here R1 is equal to R plus R2 also R. These are same, so 2R. R plus R is equal to 2R. What is the heat produced? We can use the equation H is equal to V square by R into T. Okay, it is said that the potential difference is same here, that is V is same in series and parallel connection. Here V is V square by the resistance in series connection. Here the resistance in series connection is 2R into T. That is H. Let heat produced in series connection be Hs. Therefore, Hs is equal to V square by 2R into T. Heat produced in parallel connection. That is, the resistance in parallel connection 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2, that is equal to, here the resistance is same, that is 1 by R plus R2 also is equal to R. Therefore, that is equal to 2 by R. K1 plus 1, 2 by R. Therefore, 1 by Rp is equal to 2 by R. Therefore, Rp is equal to R by 2. Okay. Then what is the heat produced in parallel connection? That can be denoted by the letter Hp. Hp is equal to V square by R into T. That is equal to V square by R, here is R by 2 into T. That is equal to 2 become denominator of denominator is numerator. Therefore, 2V square by R into T. Therefore, Hp is equal to 2V square by R into T. Hope you understand that. Then we have to calculate the ratio of heat produced in series and a parallel combination. That is heat produced in series and a parallel combination. Here heat produced in series is V square by 2R into T, all divided by Hp is equal to 2V square by R into T. Okay, here we can rewrite it as 2R into R by 2V square T. Here V square cancel, T get cancelled, and R get cancelled. Then 2 into 2, 1 by 2 into 2, 4. That is Hs by Hp is equal to 1 by 4. That is the ratio of heat produced in series and parallel connection is 1 by 4. That is Hs is to Hp is equal to 1 is to 4. Problem is very important for your examination. Okay. Then this is our chapter electricity. Okay. Here our chapter electricity ends. First, in this chapter we discussed about electric current, then electric potential difference and the Ohm's law, then resistance, factors depending upon the resistance, resistivity, then resistors connection of resistors are of two types, that is parallel series connection and parallel connection. Okay. Then heating effect of electric current, Joule's law of heating. That's all about the chapter electricity. So you should learn the Ohm's law, Joule's law and the equations. There are many equations in this chapter. Please study the equations well and the problems related to these equations also. The problems are very important for your exam. Okay. Then we will start our new chapter, magnetic effect of electric current, in the next class. So we will continue in the next class. Thank you.